Hey guys, this is the Ridiculous Trilogy. Here with my boys. What do we want to talk about today?
Probably Warzone, since that's been the topic of conversation in Discord for what, the past 2 days?
You right, you right.
As I keep
Yes.
making sweaty people cry over a pink anime Holger 26
I think at
for
some
no
point
reason.
we'll have to show them your
The weeb
pink
gun.
G36.
You want to show them the weeb gun. Don't lie.
Eventually, sure. It's literally just the blueprint.
Okay.
For any Warzone players out there, it's literally just look up the Dreammaker blueprint, I think it's called. And yeah, apparently people hate dying to it.
It
Well,
just
I mean, I think it's because the G36 has been so useless for so long that dying to it's just like a shame. You know?
yeah, it's like an insult to die.
Yes.
Not now. Normally, insult to dying is just you're dying, but when you die by that gun, it's like insult and injury at the same time. It's like plap, you get bopped.
And then not to
Yeah,
mention that you're also like you were holding the stairs in that building, right?
Oh
yeah.
yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
that's
He
gonna really upset them. Not only are they dying to a pink anime AK, but they're dying to being outpositioned because they can't heartbeat a
that
building
section.
before they go into it.
True. And, well, to
I
be
mean,
fair, I did destroy one of their armor before they got into the building
yeah.
because they were driving in a straight line toward me for
It just sounds
some
like
reason.
It
your
sounds like they're not
typical,
very good.
your very typical Warzone players. They aren't quite understanding of what's going on around them. And then they decide, hey, I'm gonna just drive straight, bullets don't matter.
Yeah, and then they ran face first into a mine.
Well, I mean, people
Well,
don't look at the ground, and they probably should.
when one doesn't look and they run headlong into a mine, what else can you do except just let it happen?
Yeah, but it's kind of concerning.
Do you know the amount of times that I've run into anything from landmines, claymores? I mean, it's just sometimes you just don't realize it until it's too late.
Um, I'm gonna have to agree with that. There have been times where I've seen the claymore, ran towards it, but like my brain hasn't quite registered that it's a claymore yet,
Exactly.
and then just get hit by it.
Is that the T-Rex brain where I'd tell you that there was a guy literally 3 feet to you and you just didn't see him because they weren't moving?
He
You should tell
said,
Nick that entire story.
I want to hear it full on, Mauser. Give it to me.
Okay, back when we first started playing together,
Okay.
we
Tell him
went to
about the KD difference so that people kind of understand like why
okay.
what I was used to then compared
You
to
might
what
want
we
to just tell
jumped
him your
into.
KD just right off the bat because I kind of
So
forget it.
my KD hovers above a 1. It goes up
Yeah,
and
you're like a
down depending on
1.9, aren't you? Or a 1.7.
right now. So it was at like a 1.25 at one point, but then unreliable teammates.
Yeah, I got you. We're going to the spaceport.
Oh, back. Okay. Um, and so Bowser had just started playing, so clearly he didn't have a KD really at that point.
My
Yeah.
KD was a 0.03, I think, at the time.
So
So
essentially,
literally everyone was a bot.
and I had joined in on Mauser,
Mm-hmm.
and he was hosting. So of course we're gonna get closer to his lobbies than mine,
Of
and that
course.
is I'll let Mauser take it from his perspective.
Yeah, so we landed airfield and went to what at the time was that corner building between the hangars.
Yeah.
We now kind of refer to as our building, but
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I picked up someone on Harpy and I told Leo that hey, there's someone right out back in the cubbies. or whatnot.
Yeah.
And so he and his
He's
sweat Roze
MP5
skin
meta.
with an MP5
He's
meta and
MP5
was
meta.
it like the Growl at the time?
Oh
I
my
didn't run
goodness.
I was running my meta kilo, and I was running a meta. No, this was this at the airport. Yeah, so the airport it was MP5 and meta kilo at the time, and then that other one in the gas station that happened the next game that was kilo and meta back when what was the shotgun?
The
Oh.
RX-9,
Yeah.
The what?
the fire
Alright.
shotgun, the RX-9.
No. It was the other one,
Open
the
or the
drum
Origin?
mag. The Origin 12. It was the meta Origin 12. That's the second part of the story that you gotta tell.
Okay, yeah, I'll get to that. But essentially, I tell Mr. Sweaty Rose Skin over here that, hey, there's a guy on Ghosted who basically just got his loadout
Yeah.
right behind us. And so Mr. Sweaty Rose Skin goes bursting through the door, slide canceling everywhere,
Oh
looking
my
for the slightest
goodness.
bit of movement. And I'm just standing there like, he's just standing there.
He's not
Literally just
moving, is
watching
he?
you. He's literally just standing there in the middle of the road, AFK.
That's
And Leo's like, I can't see him. And then I had, so I run my AKs and I literally just two-tapped the guy in the face because he was
no.
AFK and just
Yeah.
standing there. And the second he gets down, Leo finally sees him because there's that bit of movement.
Yep. Yep. T-Rex mentality. If it didn't
But
move, it
see,
doesn't
here's
exist.
the thing: is I
And-
came from lobbies where that's
No one
not
sits
a
still?
thing. I had never been. No, I had never been in a lobby where people just would AFK in the middle of the road.
Well, I mean, like, there has been times where I've been in a lobby and some guy will still just be free falling and floating all the way down. He doesn't even like attempt to go anywhere. He just falls the entire time until he gets his chute pulled by the game, because the game will pull your chute unless you pull it previously.
But yeah, apparently Mr. Sweaty over here didn't see that.
Oh,
And
that's not the only time that happened though. And then we ran into that dude that was my KD tier, but he was cheating with a bare bones car 98 and just shooting people out of the sky with iron sights. That was fun.
yeah,
Well,
that was
that sounds like Warzone though. Like every time I've been on, sometimes I've hit lobbies where there's been a solid team of cheaters. Like, you know what I mean? Like
You
it's
don't
an
get-
entire team.
You're
Yeah.
lucky if you go a night without running into a cheater. You're very lucky. It's the nature of the like. I know a lot of console players. If they don't run into them as often. They were baffled. Like Mauser played with me and a few of my friends, and they're all on console, and they had never seen a hacker before.
Really?
So meanwhile, we're like, this man has wall hacks. They're like, he killed you. It's fine. He's not cheating. I'm like, no. This man can see through this wall
You know it. You know it can't
because
happen.
he locked onto me, and I'm crouch walking, which you don't make noise if you're crouch walking.
At least not a lot of
Um,
it.
Not enough that unless someone's sound whoring, which it's not able to do in Warzone. The audio is not. You can't. If you're able to do like you can hear people coming when they're running and stuff and moving, but crouch walking, no. Unless you have like the best head, like there's no you have a better gaming chair than me, bro. Yeah, that's what's going on there.
Yeah, right.
That's just the whole scenario, and they're like they're cheaters, and I was like, yes. It's like you've never seen one. They're like, no, and I was like, all right, cool. Spectate this guy.
Follow
like-
me.
They're like, well, how is he doing that? And I'm like, what do you? They're like, what do you mean he's cheating? I was like, okay, watch as he watches through that wall, and then that guy's gonna pop out. Because you can hear them,
Yeah,
but there's
yeah.
even if you can hear them, that doesn't mean that you know exactly where they are.
Exactly.
and-
You know, I know what you mean.
He knew exactly where he was, and he popped out. They're like, "Oh, I guess that's valid." I was like, "Yeah, of course it's valid."
I wouldn't lie to your face.
was like, yeah, oh, someone like, oh, okay, someone killed me in Warzone. That's not something I'm just gonna be like, oh, cheater. Like,
Yeah,
no.
like that's not how it works. We don't just call cheater when there's a person that's better than we are. I left the
No,
ship,
I
FYI.
do. Oh, okay. I was running around looking for you.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
but yeah, it's just not one of those situations. And Mauser and I run into them so much that it's like half the time we don't even call them out anymore. We just like they're doing the thing and
They're
move on.
doing the thing.
Then we move on from it.
Of course.
So it's Warzone's definitely so the second half of that story was farmland, which is now it's not farmland, it was it's hills.
It's hills now, yeah.
Hills on the old Verdansk was
Ah.
a vibe. I loved hills on the old Verdansk. So we landed there, and that gas station that's in between that and then Boneyard.
Yes, I hate that place.
So there's that gas station at those buildings. Well, there was a team. We were playing duos.
Mhm.
There was just two dudes hiding in the gas station, and I'm sweaty, looking all around. Like there's people. There's gotta be people. Where they at though?
Again, he's slide canceling, bunny
I'm,
hopping
I'm
everywhere.
jumping all around, sliding all around. Which at one point I stopped doing that in those lobbies because I'm like, I don't need to do this.
Yeah,
People do
because they're
not
not gonna
have.
shoot you.
They're more likely to hide than fight. And so
Yeah.
this dude's peeking out from in and from behind a window. And I go, Mauser, there's somebody in that window, and of course the guy ducked back.
Yeah, yeah.
When Mauser looks, he's like, I don't think so. And so of course I'm like, okay, well if there's somebody there, I'm gonna go loot it.
So you run in there, don't you?
Mans was sitting in there. I had no loadout guns at this point in time. I had whatever. There was a ground loop shotgun at that point. It was an Origin, but it wasn't like the meta Origin setup, so it didn't have all the stuff on it.
Roze sector,
And
Mauser.
Okay.
And then I had like I want to say it was like an M4 or something. Just one of the random dropped ground loop guns. Nothing special. And this kid had his loadout, by the way. Both of them had their loadouts. Bowser and I were on our way to get ours because it had dropped a little further out.
Friendly drop.
Yeah. And so they're sitting there and they start shooting at me. But they didn't even touch me. Not a single plate on my body was broken.
So what you're saying is that they were garbage.
Oh, they were so bad. I felt like I felt like I was clubbing baby seals.
Okay, that's a bit dramatic there. Was it that bad, really? Really?
Mauser could attest to it. It was bad.
It was that
one
bad
of them
because
one of them didn't even shoot at me because he thought that I was his buddy.
Oh my goodness, okay.
Meanwhile, I'm in. Was it the Sweaty Rose skin or was it the other skin? I forget it was the Mara because that was the original Sweaty Rose skin. Was the Mara skin so I was in that skin, and it was just like. And of course, neither of them had silencers on their guns.
So you knew where they were at every time they popped a shot.
Well, no, not just that. It attracted all the little rats that were hiding in the area.
Rats!
And I was booking it towards him because of exactly that.
All them rats.
And then the rats saw them get wiped in about 2 seconds.
Oh my goodness!
And they all started hiding. And then one of them started taking pot. The rats hid. Like rats.
Yes,
like the rats
course.
they were.
Like the rats.
So I'm like, no, so let's just grab loadout. So we grab loadout because we at this point we didn't realize that there were rats around.
Of course.
And so we grab our loadout, and someone takes a shot at me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if I hit him the first shot or the second shot. I was running a I think it was a Car 98.
That's your favorite gun. I was gonna say it's pretty much your favorite.
I do run the Car 98 quite heavily, but
And
that's because
it's a good gun, though.
that thing will lick a bean from a mile away. That thing's
Yeah,
fantastic.
you're right.
It is accurate. I can't remember if it was the Car 98 or if it was my Kilo and Origin build, but I had the Origin, or I picked one up later. But I turned around and it was either the Car 98 or the Kilo, and I just absolutely beamed the kid.
Right. Yeah, man.
He's dead. He's gone.
Uh,
No longer
It's
existed.
like, I'm sorry, but he's dead. He's gone. There's no
And
longer anything left.
of course, you hear death comes when you kill somebody. So he
Yes.
calls out to his teammate. He's like, "There's a cheater."
Oh no.
And so his teammate's hiding, of course, like a little rat in a bedroom. And I'm heart beating everywhere.
Of course.
I'm sliding around and heart beating.
So you're basically pulling out the sweat while they're in here hiding from you.
They're hiding. He was hiding for dear life at this point. I find him.
Right, right.
I heartbeat that man out. And I slide through the doorway in one of the, the bottom floor housing on those apartments.
Yes, yes.
How it has like, it was the upstairs. No, it was the downstairs. It had a window. I threw something through the window so that he thought I was jumping through the window. I didn't need to do all that, as I realized afterwards. I slid in. He's aiming the wrong way, and I just put 3 shotgun shells into him, and it was done. Done
Right.
though. Man was gone, eliminated, dead. And it was just I started talking to Mouse. I was like, "Is this your normal lobby?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "These are great lobbies."
Yeah, you love getting in the lobbies with the people that don't know how to play the game.
Bot lobbies. No, well, bot lobbies are just interesting because you get
Keep
to
in
see
mind, I
how-
don't get these lobbies like at all anymore.
So,
No, I'm sorry.
well, you see,
That will
sorry.
keep in mind, people who are listening to this. This was like season 5, I think, of the original.
Yeah.
Like Warzone had come out, so it was like the Modern Warfare season 5 just
This
started.
was. I don't think it was season. I think me and you started seasons. I've played since season 1, and I think me and you started playing together end of season 4.
About that, yeah.
It's a season 5. We had been talking about how season 5 was going to launch, and that's how we both knew that we both played Warzone.
Yeah.
But yeah, neither of you get those lobbies.
no.
Which is why I want either to make a Smurf account or
Oh my
I wanna-
goodness.
I want to pick somebody up who has a 0.00 KD.
I mean, my cousin has like a. I think he has under 1 KD. I mean, he doesn't get
No,
a
but
kill.
I'm saying if you get a 0. Like it puts you into some interesting lobbies where people it's the people who are just like too stupid to live.
What?
It's that. It's just they have no game sense whatsoever. They're crawling through the middle of fields and stuff.
I'm going to
Just
quick
waiting.
travel to the spaceport.
They're essentially Bowser can attest to this. It's just the stupidity of some of these players was just insane. Just like the things they were doing. It's like, why are you doing that? What made you think
That would work?
that would work?
Yeah. So I had one guy.
Oh no.
I had one guy. I was doing solos, and I don't really do solos all that much because playing as a team's more fun and better. But I was brave, went in on my lonesome, and I think I dropped airport at our building. I did a quick loot of our building. I held the stairs for about 5 minutes until Circle moved. And this, I don't know if he was just stupid or what, but he just come running into the building before like even checking. Like he didn't heartbeat, he didn't check the building at all. He runs into the building and I am upstairs. I am upstairs in our little spot, just hiding away. And he comes running in. I'm like, "Okay, so this is a single player because we're doing solos. He's not got a team." And so I pulled out it was like a Farah, I think it is. It was recent, but I pulled out a Farah that I found in that building, and I had just played it up, all plates. I peeked the corner as he's going to the roof to try and loot that last box, because I didn't go to the roof yet. I didn't loot that box. And so it was making a sound. On his way back down, he met his maker and he went to the gulag. I popped out and I shot him. The guy panicked when he saw me, like full on heavy panic, like jumping around panic. Like he didn't know what to do with himself because most of the time you just open the door and run back out it. No, he bounced around, like he was jumping, trying to avoid gunfire. It didn't work. And yeah, it was just Warzone logic.
Yes.
Very much so Warzone logic.
I think there's a lot of first-person shooters though. Like when you're playing a game and you know that death is a reward of stupidity.
I want to say it's a lot of battle royales.
Yeah.
I've never really seen in COD multiplayer anyone just like panic.
Hmm.
It's more of just I've accepted my fate because you come back, so nobody cares.
It's not
But
Tarkov.
every battle royale that I have played, you get the people that are like, oh I'm gonna die, and they try everything in their power not to die, whether it's bunny hopping, dolphin diving, or
Yep.
whatever it is,
Yep.
and it
Everything.
just never works.
No.
The zigzagging and I remember playing PUBG
Oh my
and watching
goodness.
people bunny hop and zigzag
PUBG.
all over the place.
PUBG. My goodness.
I loved
I
PUBG.
used to
I
be a
still love PUBG.
I
I would
used to be a
play
legend.
PUBG. I would play PUBG right now. I
Um
would.
so one of my best friends, he moved to I think North Dakota. But he is a hardcore, PUBG gamer. He plays on Xbox. That's the only game he plays. I mean, loving. He could chuck a grenade through a window and kill
Can he
them.
really be that dedicated if he plays it on console though?
Buddy, he was just about as good as me on a computer. He was so
Well,
good.
no, I don't think I think that there's I think that whole computer players are better thing is
So let me put it this way. My speed was
I play
faster.
controller.
I could move quicker with my mouse. I could loot a building faster than he could. But when it came to the accuracy that he had, he was better. When it come down to his methods, he was better. He had played more. I was good at looting and running and getting away, but when it came to like the art of the kill, he had perfected it. Like he'd toss a nade in a top floor. He would use a frying pan and beat someone outside when they ran away from the nade. Like I mean legendary kinds of ops. Just I mean so to this
Just
day
saying that the graphics and the whole thing on Xbox, I remember it was just so bad because
yes.
I played it, and that's what I mean. Like if he was so dedicated, I can't believe he was playing it on Xbox. I
He's
think,
not rich.
oh well, um, I think that whole like mindset of PC mouse and keyboard players are more dominant. I think that's a foobar. I think that's dumb. I don't
Yep.
think that's real.
So I know that there are
And
a
the
lot
sole
of
fact
people.
I run controller.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that run controller on a computer. It's just because the way that the computer runs the game is different, especially if you've got a really nice computer.
But you get a from my understanding, you just get a wider field of view. There are no other Warzone. In Warzone, the only benefit
Going to Drum and
that
Cause.
PC players get is a wider field of view than console players, and I've seen that actually because when I play with my friends, they're all on console. I'll
Mhm.
see somebody on a rooftop to their right while I'm dead or something, and I'm spectating them, and I'll call that person out. They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Turn to your right," and they turn to their right, and there's a dude there. They're like, "Oh, how'd you see that?" I was like, "Oh, I have a wider field of view than you do."
Mhm.
But that is the only benefit, and I mean, yeah, mouse aiming, you can get it dead on somebody and then let it rip, but and recoil controls a little better on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
But everything else wise, movement wise, I prefer controller. It's just I played on console my entire life up until about a year or two ago that I switched over to PC.
Yep.
I played with mouse and keyboard for a little while, and it was just not.
Was
I
it
mean,
not
that was
as
good.
comfy? Like, was it not as
It was not
comfy
as
for
it
you?
was not as comfy. It wasn't. Bowser has slowly forced me to start playing mouse and keyboard every now and again.
Never forced anything. I just strongly
Uh,
suggested.
So
uh-huh.
strongly suggesting is not forcing, but it is definitely implying one do it.
Yes.
I think the exact quote I gave was aim assist makes you weak.
Yes, it is. It does.
Okay. I have that turned off. You could turn that off.
All right.
I
Well,
turned it off.
most people they don't. They're
Yeah,
not all
well, I
you.
mean, here's the thing. It's a competitive edge.
Yeah.
I should use it. I don't. I mean, because it's not like, okay, all it does is break. So essentially, you have to be within a certain amount of distance, either ADS on them for it to do it. It doesn't snap it. Like a lot of people think that it snaps it right onto their person.
It doesn't.
It doesn't really do that. It just helps you track them. That's all.
Mhm.
So that, because sometimes with a controller it's not as easy, and that's automatically put into controller games essentially.
Yeah,
So they
and it's
do it
just
with
because
this.
with a mouse and a keyboard, you can use that
You're
mouse and track someone
you
easier
can
than you
turn
can
up
with a.
it's
Yeah,
because you can turn up your sensitivity on a mouse. You cannot do that on a controller.
exactly.
So I don't think that a lot of people go that's hacks yada. I don't think so. I
It's
think that
not.
that's just people who think that aim assist is aimbot. It's not.
Aimbot is different than aim assist, 100%.
Yes, but I mean I've seen when I used to have the aim assist on, I could tell someone would be close to me and they'd be sliding, and my radical would just kind of follow them slightly.
Yep.
I'd have to guide it, but it would be doing it on its own too. Like if I wanted it to get all the way to them, I'd have to control it, but like it follows them a bit, which is
It
it
gives
makes
it a
sense.
slight push towards the right direction so that you can.
If we could turn up like you could turn up your sensitivity and all that, but on controller it's a lot more erratic.
I literally could
Than
hit a button and my sensitivity's up. So
oh yeah, so my mouse I have a Corsair or something. So I think it's like a Dark Core 3.
I have a
I have
Corsair of some kind. I don't know exactly which
I
one.
have a center button that I can change into different things. So my mouse is always in sniper mode, which I have 3 different speed settings. One's I wish I could show y'all, but it's
Yeah.
fast. It's a
Yeah.
speedy boy. The other one's the slow, methodical kind of drag it
Mhm.
across your screen, and I use it when I snipe in Warzone. I change the speed pretty rapidly. Like if I'm looking around, it's going to be that one. If I'm sniping, it's going to be the slow one, and then the medium one is when I'm just kind of looking around.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
So
But
I've got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 settings of sensitivity on my mouse, and
man,
I always have mine set to 3 on my mouse. It's always halfway in the middle, and my mouse, everyone that's watching can see it moves pretty quick. But if I turn it up twice, woo, it's off my screen like instantly. It's super fast. And so I didn't even flick my wrist more than a little bit. And so I always keep it at 3 or 4 if I'm in a really intense where I need a flick of the wrist to get to a place. But yeah, no, it's awesome to have just at the click of a button a sensitivity.
I don't like speed.
I and that is something I do like. There are some games where I will play mouse and keyboard for shooting.
Mhm.
Some, not all, some. Um, but Warzone. When I first played, so all of season 1 I played mouse and keyboard. Season 2, I actually stopped playing for season 2, where it was the end. No, halfway through season 1 I stopped, and I came back halfway through season 2.
Yeah,
So that was just because of work and stuff. I just never had time to play.
of course.
So I came back into season 2. I really never had the battle pass. So a lot of people are like, well, if you were there, why don't you have these skins and this stuff? I was like, because I didn't buy the battle pass. And I also never completed it most of the time because I wasn't playing that heavily.
Yeah,
It was really like season 3 where I started playing heavily. and it just became routine. Come home, who's on, kind of thing.
Right.
It was just a good time. It's a great time. I think more people should. I get a lot of people don't feel like dealing with hackers and stuff. I get it. I understand. But a lot of people, more people need to give it a try. They just don't want to.
I know what you mean. Like it's not that they don't want to. It's just that they're scared too, right? Just that they don't want to put up with it all.
I think it's more of they don't want someone else to be right about like you'll like it.
Right.
I think that's a lot to do with it. They're just like, I hate Warzone. It's a popular thing to hate Warzone. I hate Warzone.
Yeah. So, I
But
mean,
overall, it's been solid. There are the issues, just like with any game, there's going to be issues.
right. And I agree. I mean, every game that you ever play, it doesn't matter whether it's a BR, whether it's a solo game, you're always gonna have you're gonna have things that are with it that not everybody likes, or not everyone wants to
Or
participate in, or
yeah, or that the company doesn't want to do. You know, they
exactly.
don't want to add an anti-cheat. Should they add an anti-cheat? Yes.
Probably.
Probably. Most likely. I think it would behoove them greatly.
Yes.
I digress from anti-cheat. I could go on for hours about anti-cheat and how it's so
Well,
easy it is for them to put it in there.
Well, maybe next time. I think that's it for this episode. Mauser, would you like to lead us out?
Alright, everyone, thanks for tuning in, listening to us ramble about Warzone this time. And try out the pink Holger 26 or the G36 in Warzone. You'd kind of be surprised if you don't take it in to get kills, but more to meme around.